tradition here at Liberty Common High School, and it was created by our very first senior class, the class of 2013. Does anybody know trivia? Does anybody know how many students were in our very first graduating class? Don't just shout it out, raise your hand if you know. If you know. I guess. No, it's not 9. Yes. No, it's not 13. If you're guessing, don't guess. If you know, then you know. Yes. Don't guess. There were 19 students in our very first graduating class. The next year, there were 29. The year after that, there were 50. And now look at us. Nice, the seniors look fantastic. The very first senior class felt like guinea pigs here at Liberty Common. It was a hard road for them to hoe. They had to sign up for a high school that did not exist for their high school experience. We had 0 track record. That was super hard for those guys. And they paved the way for all of you. And they created this tradition as a way to encourage their classmates that the struggle is worth it. That the struggle is real and the struggle is worth it. They also took time to take a few cheap shots at teachers, which makes it fun as long as they're in good humor. Teachers, I hope you're all ready for that. These guys are great, but we might take a few rounds. That's okay. But they also wanted to take the chance to thank a lot of the people that had gotten them there, their parents, their teachers, their friends. So, without further ado, I want to kick off the class of 2022's senior Speakout with Mr. Nathan Brown.
Mr. Lovely already introduced me. My name is Nathan Brown. I started at Liberty freshman year 4 years ago now. I think the biggest thing that makes my Liberty experience different from anyone else's is that last year I moved to the East Coast to play hockey for a U16 AAA team called Springfield Pigs. I left behind lots of friends and family and even Liberty, like I know a lot of you think you want to do. It was fun for the year, but my whole speech is based on why I'm standing here today back at Liberty after moving away. And I could still be in Massachusetts this year if I decided to come back, and I'm just going to explain why. First reason, lessons learned. I know that you hear them all the time, but the time management and the studying skills. Last year, when I was out playing, I didn't have any parents with me or anybody to tell me when I had to be at practice or when I had to get food or anything like that. So all of my whole day was up to me to plan, including picking up some European teammates and younger kids who couldn't drive. So the time management that I learned my first 2 years, getting homework done and everything, that made a big difference in knowing and being able to plan my day out, knowing when I had to leave, and like the whole thing was much easier after learning time management from Liberty. The studying techniques are still a work in progress, I'm not going to lie. Just look at my GPA. Sophomore year though, after getting through my first year, I could already notice a difference in how much better my grades were and how much I learned on working with the different classes and studying and all that. It's coming back to me now much faster than after already having the base from sophomore year. The second reason is the reason that all my teammates haze me and torment me at practice, and that's the academics and the homework. Last weekend in Phoenix, when I had to work on homework and stuff, and all my buddies were all playing down in the court, playing basketball, stuff like that, they gave me a hard time for having to deal with homework. But I remember last year when I went to Mass, Mr. Lovely talked to me beforehand that you can get a good education anywhere. Don't take that and run, let me finish. You can get a good education anywhere if you sink your teeth in and really work at it, which I thought is what I was going to do when I moved. That didn't happen. I spent all my time either playing hockey or chilling with my roommates. I did not make the most of that experience. And what's so great about Liberty is it's not forced, but it's, you don't have the, man, I don't even know where I'm going. There's the, there's no,
Accountability.
Accountability. Thank you. There's no accountability for keeping your grades up and getting your work done at other schools. Here, you've got that. It helps so much when those times when you don't want to get the homework done, but you know the teachers are going to be there, and they will help you get your grades back up and get done what you need to get done when you just really don't like it. My teachers, while I was out east, they just let everything go downhill. And that's not their fault. That was on me for not getting the stuff done, but the teachers here can help you when you've got those nights. It's just terrible when you don't want to do it. My mom's really going to let me bring it up at this point. Last year, I hear there was a phone call that I told her that I missed learning. I missed liberty. I don't really want to admit that. But that's what she told me while I was working on the speech. So we're just going to go with it. And means in the middle, I don't know. I can see where she's coming from though, and I know that last year with where I was at, the academics were not fun, and I was really missing having something to do with my day other than sit on my bed and go to practice. And then my final reason is the most important and genuine of the reasons that I wanted to come back to Liberty, and that's the community and the teachers. I don't know of anywhere else that can come together around like Ezra. That something that special doesn't happen at any other school I've been to. It's really cool to see, and I have here, I don't know somewhere else where students can be welcomed into a classroom to go enjoy lunch with the teacher, or there's a set period of time at the end of the day to socialize and learn and get extra help when you need it, or a school where there's teachers that are willing to come watch a student get knocked around the night sheet on a Friday night. I am extremely grateful for what the teachers have done and how much of an impact they've had with everything they do, even the small things, the kind remarks at the end of class, the making sure that you're okay when homework is not being turned in, and just the small things that nobody ever thinks about. The other schools I've been to, you kind of hear the same stuff, but it's not the same. There's a difference in the teachers at Liberty. You can tell that they mean it. This speech is classes that I had started, and I know that I wouldn't want to be at any other school this year, so that's
Nice job, Megan Brown. Next up, Megan Zupancic.
Every day, we have experiences that shape who we are, allowing us to become unique individuals. Liberty has a way of shaping us each into someone different. Through the rigorous academics and large amount of homeworks each night, Liberty is changing your life. Taking hard classes may be difficult in the moment, but I promise you, it will be worth it in the long run. Whether that's when you go to college or even just everyday life, the struggle will be worth it. I remember reading The Great Gatsby in American literature, and it changed the way I live that life. The lesson I learned was that you must balance the past, present, and future without getting caught up in life. This goes to show that even the small lessons your teachers teach you can have a very large impact on your life. But you must be willing to believe that. Try a little harder to stay awake during that boring class, or put some more effort into the assignments you have. Doing this will allow Liberty's impact to grow larger on your life. Believe it or not, the large homework load is also shaping you into a better person. It teaches us how to have good work ethic and time management. I was talking to one of my friends who is currently in college, and he said this: Liberty taught me how to just do hard work, whether I liked it or not. I think we can all agree that there are tough times in our Liberty career where we want to stop trying, where quitting will negatively impact you. I like to think about this in relationship to swimming, which is a huge part of my life. If I walk into swim practice feeling unmotivated, I don't just walk out, I get in the water and do the workout. I know that if I were to take a day off, it would set my training back, not leading to a positive result. But if I do it even though I don't want to, it will set me up for success. In the moment, it may seem difficult, or you may be unwilling to do it, but it will positively affect your future. Not only will academics at Liberty shape who you are, but the many other experiences Liberty provides you will positively impact you. So often, we only think about Liberty of being a place of academics, but it is so much more than that. Since freshman year, I have been involved in a Liberty sports team, and I can honestly say that sometimes sports were the only thing that got me through rough patches. And the best part about it is the friendships you make. And for all of you out there who haven't gotten involved in something new, I highly recommend it. Over half the women's swim team have never done swimming before, and now they are amazing swimmers. In fact, we're currently ranked 4th in the state right now. These co-curricular activities help shape who you are outside of your academics. They teach you about leadership, hard work, and dedication. All of these skills will be super helpful in your future, whether you're applying for a job or even just living your everyday life. Take these opportunities now, because you may not come across them in the future. So how is Liberty shaping you? Are you taking advantage of everything it has to offer you, allowing you to reach your full potential? Because if you do, it will shape who you are now and in the future. After all, changed lives change the world.
Nice job, Megan. Next up, Dharini Sriram.
Hey guys, I'm Zara, and I've been at Liberty for 13 years, and this year I made it to senior year, so woo! To preface this, I actually called Sydney last night and asked her to go today and speak to me, but she declined, so you guys are my class instead. So last year, when I was in my second semester of 11th grade, I decided to go online for 3 months, just a week after I came back from winter break. I attended school from a laptop until the beginning of April. Now, I'm sure a lot of you are wondering, why would you want to go online, like on purpose? If you asked me the question back then, I don't know what answer I would have told you. Looking back, I realized that my mental health was at one of the worst points that it has ever been. I was taking hard classes without a break in my schedule, and I essentially wore myself out halfway through the school year. If I'm being honest with you, there were times where I didn't know if I would make it. But I made it through, and I'm standing here in front of you, Now my advice to you, don't do that. I think that's pretty self-explanatory, but don't hurt yourself and take care of yourself. That's right, girl. Be kind to yourself. I'm not saying don't take challenging classes. In fact, I want you to do that. Take that math class that you know will push you. Take EP Lang instead of Comp 2. Take that one engineering class that you don't know if you will ever use in your life, but you just want to do it. Challenge yourself and push yourself, but remember to find that balance between your mental health and your hard work. Don't discount hard work, because it truly is a game changer. The time and effort you put into what you're doing makes a difference. This applies to everything, like sport, practicing an instrument, working at a B in a class up to an A. When you see people who seem like they're effortlessly good at something, it's often not luck that gets them to where they are. It's hard work. Okay, maybe it isn't the one, and probably some genetics too. Going back to the point, high school is hard, no matter where you go. But Liberty has some of the most dedicated teachers and involved community that I've ever seen, especially this year. I know that any of you guys and myself could go up to any of your teachers if you have a heart, if you're going through a struggle, and they would 100% listen to you, talk to you about it, and even, take some classwork off for that week, for that day. I've definitely grown as a person and a student because of the people surrounding me, including my amazing group of friends, my family, my AP Spanish class, Abby, she probably would say that, Mrs. Dietrich, Mr. Lund, Mrs. Carr, even Mr. Lovely in his pre-cal class, and my teaching leadership team. Shout out John O'Malley. I know that every single one of you is going through a struggle right now, and I want to let you know that you are not alone. I'm so proud of you for getting up every single day, for pushing on even if you don't want to sometimes. You are all so important, so keep going. Make sure to support one another and check in with each other. I also want to make another point, that no means no. No, hashtag, can you take that? No, that's okay to say no. No, but stop and take a break. Not doing that one math homework will not drop your grade drastically. At the end of the day, your sleep and mental health is extremely important, so please take care of yourself. And finally, as my role model, Dwayne The Rock Johnson says, it's about drive, it's about power. We stay hungry, we devour. Put in the work, put the hours, and take what's ours. Thank you very much.
Let's go, Ashley Sanchez!
Hey guys, if y'all don't already know me, my name is Sanchez. I've been at Liberty for 13 years as well. I'm standing up here today to give helpful advice to get everyone here through your next or last stages of your Liberty years. I think 3 useful tips should fit the 4 minutes I have with you guys, even though there's so much more I want to say. First, everyone here knows that this school can give hours of homework a night, especially during junior year. And fortunately for some of you, you will have 3 tests, a paper, and other little assignments due in a span of a week. If any of you are like me, you would be stressed, overwhelmed, and very anxious. Anytime I would feel distressed, my dad would always tell me, looking at the whole forest will stress you out more than focusing on one single tree, then moving on to the next. In other words, focusing on one assignment at a time is greater than focusing on all the assignments at once. Designating time for specific assignments and breaks was advice given to me courtesy of Mr. Tullius before he went off on a tangent talking about how Jedi lightsabers should be turned on by using the Force. Like, we get it, Mr. Tullius, you're a nerd, but let's move on. In all seriousness, focusing on one assignment at a time and designating specific time to finish your assignments are useful and productive ways to finish your homework without stress. Second, I know some of you guys may think that some of these teachers look very intimidating based on their height or appearance. Mrs. Carr might be one of those, but in reality, I have never met a more kind or devoted group of individuals to teach at this school. If any one of you could build a bond with at least one teacher, then life at school would be filled with amazing conversations that make you laugh and smile even on those really bad days. They can inspire you to discover a subject you love and might want to continue into college, but you guys don't need to worry about that. And if you ask, they can help you and guide you through any personal issues you find yourself studying. Sorry guys. Fortunately for me, I have made 2 strong friendships with 2 amazing teachers. The amount of sarcasm I received from this teacher is beyond words, but even after after his sarcasm and his guilt trips, Mr. Lund is one of my close friends. I deeply apologize for all my daily rants you have to listen to, but that's only because your desk is so close to the really cool chairs. I also thank you for dealing with my high energy and low energy days and making me feel like I belong in this school. Now, this teacher is quite the opposite of Mr. Lund. She has absolutely no clue how to use sarcasm or when someone else is being sarcastic. But besides her lack of sarcasm, Mrs. Carr is the kindest and most caring teacher I have met. She is the teacher who introduced my passion for the human body and how the body works to keep us alive. She influenced my desire to become a nurse, and I am beyond grateful for that. Mrs. Carr, I want to thank you for all the love and support you have given me these past 4 years. You have helped me and continue to help me with my school life and my personal life. When days are harder than others, you never fail to ask how you can help while giving me the tightest help possible. So thank you for that. Third, surround yourself with people who let you be yourself. I know this is very cliche, but it's the truth. Being yourself can avoid so much pain. If you find those people, even if it's just one person who you can be yourself around, then you can start to feel free. Being yourself allows you to grow into the person you want to be, and if you surround yourself with people who seem to tie you down, then you're stuck and you can't move. Find someone who is able to match and handle your energy without telling you to always restrain yourself. My best friend will either match my energy or, if she has a migraine, really want to punch me in the face. Either way, she lets me be who I am, from my high-volume energy to my inability to wake up early. I applaud and thank her for sticking around these past 2 years. I understand this school is challenging, but if all of you are able to focus on one assignment at a time, build a bond with a teacher, and surround yourself with people who let you be yourself, then I am positive that every single one of you will survive high school. Yeah! Thanks.
Thanks, Scott Ashley. Mr. Young, Boehner.
I'm actually going to do something a little bit differently. I'm just going to share with you my story, and I'm just going to jump right in. For the longest time, I despised the thought of school. It was boring, monotonous, and something I was forced to do. I'd always loved sports, so I longed for recess and lunchtime when I could go outside and release my energy. As time went on, though, I had to apply myself more. The topics of discussion came less easily to me, and I was pushed toward working much harder for higher grades. This amplified my dread for the school day. Then junior year came. Mr. D showered us with his love for the books he had read 14 times. He urged us to seek the inherent beauty of the books rather than skim them for a measly quiz the next day. I attempted this deeper form of learning, and it changed the way I looked at life. Mr. D's passion for these stories showed me love's multiplying effect, how it penetrates everything, making it all sweeter. From him, I have learned that knowledge alone lacks brilliance. It's missing something. I allowed love and my faith to shed a new light upon what I was learning, entirely flipping my perspective. I found myself thinking similarly when I began studying music theory this year with Mr. Lund. It brings a different sense of wonder to music. The mathematical methods employed in theory and the musical complexity behind the beauty of song are in and of themselves astounding. This, coupled with the fact that musicians are able to perform such things without even thinking about the theory behind it, is humbling. God is so innovative with His creation, and I can continue to see the beauty in music because I have not lost my sense of wonder. Thank you, Mr. Holden. In this case, my faith kindles my love for music, igniting a flame that continues to burn brighter. The two fuel each other. I've attended Liberty Common School since 3rd grade, and you guys know all about the capstone, so I'll just cut straight to the chase. Wisdom is defined as understanding and being inclined toward beauty, truth, goodness, and perfection. Liberty trains us not to see the education as a requirement by the state, but as something inherently true, beautiful, and good. Yet we are so busy complaining we miss it. While Liberty is not a Christian school, these traits parallel so closely with the fruits of the Spirit discussed in Galatians. It says, "But the fruit of the Spirit is love, joy, peace, patience, kindness, goodness, faithfulness, gentleness, and self-control." Liberty presents this secular philosophical point of view, yet because of my faith, I can see the higher value behind these traits. They direct me not only toward wisdom, but to the one who grants that wisdom. They direct me to Him who is more precious than jewels beyond comparison. Proverbs 3:16. They direct me to his steadfast and abounding love so that I may understand the glory of what is inherently true, beautiful, and good, Jesus. Because of this guidance, my desire and love for school grew, nurtured by a handful of teachers consistently investing in my life and deepening my education. During my time here, I've learned the value of pouring into my coursework, not for a grade, but because enjoying the material yields much sweeter fruit than merely scraping the surface. So as I leave, I implore you to heed Mr. B's challenge. It might mean more stressful evenings actually doing the readings, but the reward is too good to pass up. Furthermore, I invite you all to explore your relationship with God. My walk with him has not been perfect, but he is faithfully walking alongside me, sometimes carrying me through adversity. For me, Jesus is and will always be my rock. I encourage you to know and understand him. And for all of you looking for better options than liberty, I say this. Yes, it is difficult. Yes, it will not always be fun. And yes, I have complained in my time here. But who does complaining help? If we focus on the hard circumstances, it pulls our attention away from the depth and the beauty surrounding learning. So let's stop complaining. Instead, dive into relationships. This is a tough school, but I wouldn't want to go through with anyone else. Your teachers, classmates, and even Mr. Lovely want to grow you. They will sharpen you. Let them. Thank you.
We're going to hold the hostage and hold the bell for one more. Give it up for Mr. Sanchez.
Hey guys, I would say my name again, but I don't want to give you guys that extra check on the video, so my bad. I came here my freshman year, and it was the best choice I could have made. I've grown a lot from being a freshman. He was 5'1", 105, probably the easiest one in the school to pick on, to now getting ready to go off to college and actually do something with my life. Over these 4 years, Liberty has taught me a lot, and I've grown immensely as a person because of the school, and I'm forever grateful. I've learned how to work hard in the class where I got blinded by the bald ego's bald head for the entire class. How to see beauty in learning life from Mr. P in his classes. And how to love music in a joyful way from Mr. One, aka Dad. And how to respect everyone as people and value your own opinions and beliefs from Mrs. Dietrich despite her little trillion sass. Throughout all of this, I've learned so much. I want to share those things with you all so that the rest of your middle school and high school tenure can help you grow and be a time that you love. Number one, I just want to say, be nice to each other. I know that I have not by any means been perfect in this, and I wish I could take back those moments where I didn't love someone else as much as I should. But ultimately, as you look around this room, these are the people you got. These are the people that are going through the same stage of life as you and share your struggles. Value each and every one of the people in the school. Number two, aim for perfection and be satisfied with excellence. In school and in life, it can be easy to try and get off the easy way and just aim for a passing grade or ask your friends for some homework answers when you don't understand it. I've done this too, trust me. But hear me when I say you're limiting yourself when you do that. The sky's the limit for every person in this room, so do everything to the best of your abilities and be satisfied with the result. Number three, don't be afraid to ask for help from your teachers. Every teacher in the school wants to help. They want to help you succeed and they care about you and your job. So never hesitate to go in and get help from them because that's what we're here for. Number four, get involved. On this earth, people are on a mission. We are created to be social creatures. So create connections by getting involved in clubs and extracurricular activities to build community. Those connections that you make now, that you can always rely on, will last a lifetime and make life a way more enjoyable. And for the introverts, don't worry. Everyone here wants to connect with you. Just put yourself out there and find those people that can support you and make school a place where you want to come instead of a place where you love coming to. Number five, do well right away in the semester so that you don't have to stress later on. I've seen so many times, like my friends having to stress in finals week trying to bring up like 5 or 6. Trying to bring up like 5 or 6 new grades in 3 days, but if you grind lastly, school is what you make of it. This sounds very cliche, but it's the truth. If you think about school as a place where you're confined to the building for 7 hours and have no freedom to do anything but read and write, then that's what it'll seem like. If you think about school as a place where you could possibly screw up your grades and subsequently screw up your future, then you'll always be stressed. You're welcome again. But if you think about school as a place where you get a good education that you can carry on for the rest of your life, a place where you can meet people who have the same aspirations as you, have a little bit of fun for 7 hours, and that's what it'll be, and you'll be a winner around school. Ultimately, attitude is everything. Every one of these pieces of advice I wish I knew coming into Liberty. I hope that you guys hear these and subsequently find that Liberty is worth it. It's a great school with great people. It opens up the doors to a successful and happy life. And it gives us all the tools to have a diverse education, close-knit community, and a steadfast character. This only happens if every day is used not as a burden, but as an opportunity to learn, grow as a person, and use the life that we have in an impactful way. Thank you for listening, and thank you for helping me have a great 4 years of life.
Nice job, Mr. Anderson. With that, please take up a piece of trash and give the bus if you got anything bus. Have a great day. We'll see you tomorrow. Drive safely.